Hi guys, it's Dakota. This is Starbuck, and he's a muddy mess right now because we've had rain. Welcome to the Hallowed Cauldron. Today's episode of a Cuppa Cauldron Random Chit Chat. So it's really nice out today, and I'm going to put this on pause in just a minute, but he's my sweetie pie right there, and just giving him some carrots. He's a little bug. He is I want to say he's like 19 now, or he'll be 20 this year. And he's not broke yet. He's not broke to ride. We tried a few times, and whoa, it's not hot. Sorry, he thought the wire, we have a hot wire right here, but it's not hot. He just thought it was. Here you go. But yeah, he's not broke to ride yet, and so he's just a yard ornament. He's just, that was my whole hand. Thank you very much. Okay, that's all. It's all gone. All right, I'm gonna put you on pause. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. Yeah, that was Starbuck. He's 20. He's not trained yet to ride. We tried a few times, and my husband wanted to train him, and he's just a pet. He's pretty much my husband's horse. We've had him since he was 5.5 months old. He is a Appaloosa quarter horse mix, part of the Polo bloodline, and so of course they had to geld him because they're not allowed to, they can't pass that Polo bloodline down. And but he also has some draft horse in him, which they forgot to tell us about when we went to get him, and we signed the paperwork for him. And anyway, he's a love bug. He's just a lush. And it turned out that was supposed to be my husband's horse, and my horse, Tar, I lost him a few years ago. He was a thoroughbred, and I lost part of my soul that day. I miss him terribly, and maybe one day I'll share a picture of him. So he's just out there, wanders around by himself. He does really well alone, actually. I feel bad for him that he doesn't have any other critters. We had goats, and he kind of hung out with the goats. And then as we lost the goats, who were like 19 years old, we're just getting out of the whole farm critter life to free up some time, because it's a lot of responsibility, it's a lot of time, and horses are very expensive. And I didn't know anything about horses when we got them, but I do now. And although I wouldn't change it for the world, I would not change anything for the world. I don't think I would do it over again if I knew what I know now, kind of thing. But I enjoy having him. He is therapy. I have all his pictures on my phone, and when I am stressed out, believe it or not, I pull up his pictures on my phone, and I will just like stare at the pictures. So anyway, sorry, that's... he doesn't want to get up here. Smeagol, my cat. Anyway, so I just wanted to start you out with something different, and there you go. All right, so today it's called a Cuppa Cauldron Random Chit Chat, and I had some things that I wanted to talk about, but I don't know. Sometimes I just want to do like, I don't want to have like a set intention. And I do like to just talk, believe it or not. So anyway, I had a while back, I had somebody, I get all kinds of questions. People ask me all kinds of questions about this path, about being a witch and, everything. And so this came up, this was a while ago. I had a customer ask me, she said, so what is your life like? I mean, like, what do you do? And I went, well, what do you mean, what do I do? And she said, well, I mean, what do you do? Like, what does a witch do? And I said, you mean, what do I do in my practice? Or like, what do you mean? I said, and first, like, what does witch mean to you? What is your idea of witch? What does witch mean to you? What do you think I do? And she's like, I don't really know. Like, like, do you put spells on people and stuff like that? And it was, and she was adorable. It was all innocent. And so I said, well, let me do a video on this because it was really kind of fun. So what do I do as a witch? Well, I don't do, there he goes. I don't do anything that, or let me start this way. I do everything that anybody else would do. I mean, I get up in the morning and I drink coffee and I catch up on social media. My friends from out of state and out of country and even my close friends, we chit chat back and forth on Facebook. Have my coffee, I read blogs and prepare notes and stuff for classes. And then I get right, take a shower and I get ready. I go to work. I work all day and I get home. There's dinner and critters need to be fed and all of that. Get back on social media, catch up with friends again. Hey, did anything exciting happen today? Okay, see you tomorrow. And do maybe a little more reading, a little more, catching up on class notes or whatever, and watch a couple of shows with my husband, and it's time for bed. So, like, that's what I do. I'm just a normal person. I do normal things. I like to go to thrift stores. I like to go to little, hole-in-the-wall kind of stores, and Schmigel-lolo. And so I'm not a big shopper. I don't like going to the mall. I despise Walmart. Big, it's not me. I'd rather do what I do in little small business or something used. I'm not a shopper. My husband's lucky in that respect. I mean, I really, literally, I don't buy hardly anything for myself. It wouldn't appear that way if you see all my stuff. But don't forget, I had an antique store for probably, close to 20 years. So this is over time that we were able to collect the items that you may see floating around the house. So now, as far as my witch stuff, what do I do? Okay, well, then that just depends. I am Wiccan, and I do daily devotions and gratitudes. That's every day. Now my cat's trying to get in my herbs. Get out. And so I do those. And that can be anywhere from, or it can mean I just close my eyes for 5 minutes and give a thanks, because I had poor time management that day and I just don't have the time. But I always make sure that I do devotion every day and gratitudes every day. But I don't necessarily turn it into this big formal ritual every day. There are some days when I do have the time, especially on my days off and just evenings when I have a little more time on my hands, that I might go in and do a meditation in front of my altar. I might clip some herbs out of the garden, bring a food offering or some kind of drink offering, just as a recognition of thanks and gratitude. So, but I don't do that. I don't do that every day. There are times that that I might do spell work. Do I do spell work every day? No, I don't. Not every day. I don't have a need for it every day. I only do spell work when there is a need. When there is something that this cat. When there is something that needs to be done, or something that I'm trying to manifest, or something that I'm trying to release. So then I might do spell work then. But just to do spell work every day for the sake of doing spell work, no, I don't do that. My spell work is pretty involved. I've talked about that before in videos, and it's pretty involved. You know, if it's something spur of the moment, like, I need to do this right now because this is happening and it's got to be done right now, then I will do just spur of the moment what I feel, and I just go with the flow, and I just do my spell work for whatever it is. But most time my spell work takes a little bit of thought, takes a little bit of time, takes a little bit of meditation, because I want to make sure that I have taken the steps and that I have made the effort to manifest whatever it is that I need manifesting or releasing, depending on the situation. So let's just say that I was trying to manifest something, or let's just say I'm trying to release something that doesn't serve my highest good. So I'm trying to release something that doesn't serve my highest good. Well, you know, I'm going to take the steps before I bring in the magic, because just through my meditations about it and trying to sort things out empowers me. It empowers me. And not only does it empower me, but I feel, and this is just me, disclaimer, this, you know, for me, it feels like then if I am unable, if I have not been successful to release that, and I feel like I do need some help, that the universe looks and goes, at least she has gone on her own and has really tried to work through that on her own. And so now we can step in and we're going to try and help her. So I don't expect anything from the universe or the gods, whatever, to be handed to me on a silver platter. And I've mentioned that. I just don't. I think that you need to try to make things happen for yourself first. We all have power, and we all have issues. You know, we have things that we need to release, and we have things that we need to manifest. So, but to just sit back and go, oh, let me do this, let me just light a candle, let me make a puppet, let me do this or do that. Think it out. You know, I think it out. I write it down. What are the pros and cons? What can I do about this? How can I help move this along on my own, without the magical influence? So I just, for whatever reason, I just feel like sometimes, you know, I don't even know the right word. So this probably is not the right word. And so please don't take it the wrong way. But it's almost like, I mean, there are just some people that will do just boom, 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 spells for anything and everything. And sometimes I feel like, you know, it's just kind of like taking advantage of a situation that perhaps you would get more personal gratification from if you did it yourself. So as opposed to just, you know, I don't know, just kicking back and going, okay, I'm just going to light this candle for this. And, if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, well, then whatever. You just need, I just feel like you need to work for your things. And sometimes working for things is planning out your magical activity, at least for me, because I don't just say, oh, okay, what phase is the moon in? What are the planets doing? I'm not big into getting into time sequences like, okay, I must do this spell at 11:13 p.m. when the moon is in this, and la 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 la. I'm not that into it. Into all of those things. I haven't studied I suck in astrology. So that part, like the astrology part in it, not so much. Of course, the moon phases I do. But there again, I have learned how to manifest something on a waning moon. If you're trying to bring something to you, you don't have to wait for the moon to be waxing. You don't. You can bring it towards you on a waning moon by releasing the thing that is in your way to open the doors, and then finish up your magic on the next waxing moon, or do some gratitude on the next waxing moon. Anyway, so in answer to that question, what does a witch do? Well, a witch does what everybody else does. I get up and do my thing, and magically I do my thing. I do my thing. I teach classes at my store. I'm a Reiki master teacher. Ow! I'm a Reiki master teacher, so we do Reiki attunements at the store. We do Reiki attunement classes at the store. I have an old back injury, and not only that, I have a torn rotator cuff. This happened like 4 years ago, and I never had surgery on it. Long story. If you want to know, ask me. I'll be happy to tell you the boring details. But I just decided not to go with surgery. And is it well? No, it's not healed. But can I move it now? Yes, I can. Thank you, physical therapy and Reiki. But because of my back injury and because of my shoulder, the hand positions for Reiki really, really aggravates those two areas. So regardless on how this cat, what is wrong with him? No. Cat for sale. Anyway, so no matter where or how I adjust my table, I have a little rolling stool that I use. Doesn't matter how I move that. It just really aggravates my back and my shoulder. And so over the years, I have started feeling, I've started feeling like I am not a complete open vessel for the Reiki to flow through. I feel that if I'm in doing the Reiki and the music is on, the candles and whatever, and I've got my hands on you, and then all of a sudden my shoulder starts aching or my back starts aching, I immediately in my head, I'm like, oh, my back. And although I am not the healer in Reiki, I am just the vessel for which the Reiki comes through, the energy comes through. I then feel like I am creating blockages within myself, maybe within my own chakras or within the feng shui of energy that is flowing through my crown and out through my hands. And then I'm miserable. I'm just miserable by the end of the treatment. I'm just miserable. So I am passing the torch, so to speak. And so we have someone else that will be doing Reiki this year, and the Reiki treatment. So I read tarot at the store. Gosh, I mean, so it's just a normal thing. I will say this. Having the metaphysical store, yeah, my job is a little bit, I don't know, maybe it's not more fun than anybody else's job, but I have an opportunity to talk with other people that are at least of like mind. Not everybody that comes to my store is a witch. Not everybody that comes into a metaphysical store are witches. Or even consider themselves pagans. They just some people that work with crystals, they're not necessarily pagans. They're not witches. They're not Norse. They're not voodoo hoodoo. They're just drawn to the energy that stones have. Some people that come in just want they want to work with herbs, or they like fresh herb tea, so they come in for their teas, or sage, so but they're open-minded. So those are open-minded people, and those are the ones that will ask me questions a lot of times about, what would you do with this? What do you do with this? And it's the same as me asking those customers that I have that belong to different pantheons than mine, and that I don't know a whole lot about. They need this, and I will say, really? Yeah, I can get that for you. What is that used for? What without breaking any oaths or whatever, what is that used for? And believe it or not, because I mean, my belief system are very eclectic, and I have found lots of new things to use in my practice thanks to my customers. And so anyway, so that's the life, that's the chit chat of the cauldron today. That's my life. That's what I do. So if there's anything that you have a question about, that you want to know more about, I would be happy to answer it. Hope you enjoyed Starbuck at the beginning. I hope that works. And like I said, I just randomly made that up, a Cuppa Cauldron Random Chit Chat. Thought it was kind of fun. And hopefully, I might do that occasionally, just yap about anything and everything, as opposed to just like one. I know it was a subject, but it's not like, a subject. You know what I mean? All right. Have a great week or great day or whatever, and we'll see you soon. Bye.